Okay, so here's a question for the angels. Can AI tools like ChatGPT support us on our spiritual path? If yes, how do we use them wisely? And I want to add, some of us have been noticing that when we're thinking something, not even saying it out loud, that we'll see the answer to that question maybe on social media or something technologically related. And are we being spied on inside our head, or is this us as a spiritual director, leader of our own life, creating that on the exterior and using technology as a tool? Yes, this is Angel Raphael. So electronic circuitry can be manipulated by angelic and other beings who are of light. So they can turn your computer on and off, or flicker a light, or in a much more nuanced way, toggle the on off. You're aware that computer coding is essentially zeros and ones or ons and offs, right? So an angel can speak through technology, social or otherwise, through your computer. And AI is not angelic. However, it works in concert, in harmony with the human, with the angel, with the demonic, with galactic beings. So AI at this time is neutral. It is a tool, and it is a rough-hewn tool. It's not very nuanced right now. So you can use a tool for anything you like, for positive or negative, and some things that people see as positive, like carving, as others see as defacing, right? So the use of a tool, it's difficult to give a value judgment that everyone would agree on. This is a positive effect or a positive use of this tool. We will say about AI that it is a rough-hewn tool right now. It's not very nuanced. So be cautious if you ask a question and you want information. You get a rough answer. Your own intuitive guidance might be much more sharp right now. Now, AI may evolve where for spiritual and practical matters, it can give you a very sharp, in other words, effective answer. But right now, it's rough-hewn. So you want to not be overly reliant on tools that are newly formed and not yet so precise. There's not some overlying consciousness that is dark or has ill will towards humankind behind these tools, particularly those where you're asking questions in order to get information. Those are right now, by and large, not all, neutral. So just understand that it's a new rough-hewn tool, so you're not going to get answers that are so precise and helpful necessarily. When you're talking about the development of the tool, the other aspect of this is the questions you ask and then the questions that you take action on, which answers you liked, in other words, and followed up on, clicked the link or something like that. That is informing AI as a tool that is becoming more and more precise. What does humankind want to know? So when people are in these chat GPT and others asking for spiritual know-how and clicking on the tools and links that seem genuine, authentic, they're letting AI know this is part of what humankind wants. They also want to know about car batteries and ways to kill people and other things that are not so friendly or kindly meant. So you can help to shape the tool by being in there asking questions, but at the same time, you need to be cautious that the answers you get through these mechanisms right now are not going to be very sharp, very precise. So we would say to trust your own guidance and knowing much, much more than these tools right now. Now that may change, but never do you want to put the answer outside of yourself in any case. So if you go to a psychic or a medium or a spiritual knowledge source, and some of what they say is very resonant, and some I don't know, but the other thing they said was good, so I better just leap in and do this part that doesn't feel right. No, 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 no. Please don't do that. Please always honor your sense of knowing and your heart wisdom and what your heart wants. The same is true with a tool like this where you're seeking information, and it's not a human wisdom that's filtering the information, but a technical one. You still want to use your own filter of, does this feel right to me? And that's the most important censorship is yourself saying, should I accept this as truth? Because not everything that is written is truth. Mm. Yes, this is Angel Raphael to answer the second question here. It is both. So when you are acting as the director of your world, you sometimes have very creative impulses to move you in different directions in your life, and you have more fluidity, more freedom to take your life in new directions, and your world immediately responds to that through the animals or the symbols you see in your field, through answers and videos that come up on your Instagram or other social media feeds. That's in response to you directing your life. Also, when you're not so self-directed, when you're not so conscious of yourself as the director of your own movie story, in terms of algorithms, you're much more predictable. You always shop for the same things or think about the same things. So it's not really a surprise then when technology appears to read your mind what you were thinking about because you're going in a sort of endless loop of similar themes. So both are true. It can be that technology is somewhat reading your mind, but it's more that you're predictable. And in cases where it's you're moving outside of your own box and evolving, the world is going to evolve with you and respond instantly. And as we had just said, the angels can also manipulate technology and light. So sometimes it's the angelic answering through these tools. So again, your own sense of knowing, is this someone or something trying to implant a message, control me in some way? Is it just that I'm predictable as a consumer of information or consumer goods? Or is this the universe responding to me putting out an impulse, even if it's just through my own thought? Of course, the universe responds. This is Raphael. That has been our premise for many years here through this channel that when you wish, you receive it. So don't limit perhaps the ways you can receive your wish, and some of them will be technological.